You ever get that feeling where you're just chilling alone or with your friends, minding your own business, and suddenly you get this random urge like, let me log into RuneScape real quick, where I wonder what's happening in Dofus these days. And then boom, you drop some money on a subscription or membership and start another journey that lasts 2 weeks, just like the famous 2-week Minecraft phase. Or you waste a holiday playing these nostalgia bait games. You're grinding, you're questing, you're wondering how the servers still look exactly the same, and you're asking yourself, why do I always come back to this game? In this video, I'm going to be yapping about why games like Dofus and RuneScape in particular trick you into always coming back through pure nostalgia and dreams. Let's talk about why these games keep pulling us back in, even after we swear we're done. So, I grew up playing these games. Dofus and RuneScape were basically my digital playgrounds. I didn't know anything about gaming back then. RuneScape, a great game known by almost everyone who's into MMOs. I was that kid running around Lumbridge with bronze armor, thinking I was unstoppable. Or Dofus, a lesser known game made by French developers, which I sunk too many hours into. I got lost in the starting town, Estrup, every 5 minutes because I had no idea what I was doing. But that's the thing, you didn't need to know what you were doing. Everything felt huge, every player felt important, and every quest felt like a big adventure. And fun fact, these games literally taught me English, not from school. Not from books, nope, from trying to understand why someone in Dofus was yelling at me in French or Spanish in a dungeon, or why someone in RuneScape said press 1 for girlfriend. Those were the golden days, man. There was this innocent magic to it. You log in, you explore, you meet random people, you slowly build your character. Like I mentioned before, these games even offered me better education than the school I went to did. They taught me English, and how to socialize and work together with people I've just met for the first time. I still vividly recall my first dungeon in Dofus on a hardcore server, where you couldn't respawn after you died. I ran through the dungeon with a French guy, and he abandoned me in the last room, where I needed my mom to translate for me, so I could hop in another group and finish the dungeon. And it didn't matter how slow the progress was, because you had all the time in the world after school. Let's talk about why nostalgia for these games is so powerful. These games feel like comfort food. No matter how many years pass or how many new games come out and you play, RuneScape and Dofus feel like home. It's the same towns, the same music, the same stupid grind. Everything you used to pump hours of your life into is still there. The skills you grinded for, that first rare drop you ever got, and the characters you used to play on. You log in, after years, and everything's still there. Or you start over fresh and experience everything you always used to do when you were a kid. For me, I can't even count how many hours I've wasted making a new character on Dofus and grinding through every dungeon and quest until I stopped caring again. Even through bad experiences like getting hacked or scammed, which happened a lot back in the day in these games, but you came back anyway. But one thing that's for sure is that you will be back one day and do it all over again. Old school RuneScape soundtrack, that shit still hits to this day. I find myself randomly putting up the OSRS soundtrack while working or gaming, and listening to it because the nostalgia hit is too strong. The Estrup theme from Dofus Retro is still stuck in my head, even after so many years. I can hear it right now in my head. These soundtracks should honestly be illegal. They're like drugs, they keep you hooked and are there for you even at your lowest moments in life. Back then, games weren't about efficiency, DPS charts, the best builds, or how quickly you can get as strong as possible. It was just vibes. And a great time sink. Wood cutting for hours, sure, I got nothing better to do anyway. Farming the Gobball dungeon with your friends until you got kicked off the home PC by your parents. Why not? Doing the same dungeon for the 50th time, or killing thousands of mobs for the 1% drop you were looking for, that was peak gaming. Community is one of the biggest parts. Your guild, your clan, random people you met in the middle of nowhere, or the people spamming at the Grand Exchange, or in Lumbridge talking about meaningless shit, and people sap camping and just looking at how other players made their characters look, and yapping about a bunch of nonsense. It felt like one big digital neighborhood. Even the drama was fun. Someone rage quitting a Colosseum PvP fight in Dofus because they thought you didn't play well enough. That's a classic. Or someone calling you a noob in RuneScape, or the dudes trying to pose as girls trying to make money in Lumbridge. It's like a rite of passage. As we grew older, the games changed too. Updates came, and to this day they still keep receiving updates. RuneScape just got its newest skill, sailing, and Dofus got upgraded to Unity engine at the end of last year. A truly groundbreaking change for the game people had been waiting for years. New versions appeared, and some of them divided the player base. Some people stayed, some left, but as always, people always come back and enjoy these games the same. If I recall correctly, OSRS hit a concurrent player record not that long ago, because of streamers joining the hype. But even when everything changes, the old emotional connection stays. Both Dofus and RuneScape did something not every MMO survives. They split into multiple versions. RS3 versus old school RuneScape, and Dofus went to Dofus 2.0 and now even Dofus Unity or 3.0. They also released a version similar to OSRS, with everything like it used to be, called Dofus Retro. Both the splits and what are supposed to be upgrades caused chaos. People argued. The forums exploded. You'd think the devs announced taxes were being added to the game or something. But here's the funny thing. People still come back. Or never stop playing anyway. Some went to Retro. Most to OSRS. Some stayed on the modern versions. But no matter what, the player base never truly disappears. It's almost like these games are immortal. Things like RS3 and Dofus going over to Unity engine received harsh criticism. And yet, people are still playing to this day, no matter which version. They might change, but they never really die. And here's the heart of it. We don't come back for the graphics. We don't come back for the meta. We don't even come back because the games are better than new releases. We come back because they remind us of who we were. Remind us of simpler times. Of old friends. Of the late night grinding sessions. Or of our first ever online experiences. They remind us of feeling part of something bigger. It's nostalgia. It's plain comfort. It's the feeling that even after all these years and all the good and bad things that happen in life, this world is still waiting for you to sink countless hours into, no matter where or who you are in life. You don't just play Dofus or RuneScape. You grow up with them, and they grow up with you. And every now and then, you log back in, not to progress, but to reconnect with that younger version of yourself. And honestly, that's what makes gaming beautiful. So yeah, that's why I keep returning to Dofus and RuneScape, even after all these years. Excuse my bad media literacy. Thanks for watching. And now I'm curious, what was your first MMO that you still turn back to? Do you also come back to it years later, or have you moved on? Drop your stories in the comments, because I know you've got some good ones. Like, subscribe and all that good stuff. And again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.